Hey everybody, welcome back to the second episode of the Fab Lab. Today we are at Deuling Designs in Halton, Michigan.
That's right. And today we're going to be talking to Mr. Adam Deuling about what he does here at Deuling Design. He's not here quite yet, but we are expecting him any minute now.
Hey guys, sorry about your wait.
Sorry about my weight? You calling me fat? I thought I had a dad bod.
A dad bod? I think you're more of a father figure.
That's right. We are going to be talking to Mr. Adam Deuling. Thank you for having us be here today.
Yeah, no problem.
And we got Kevin here.
Kevin.
So Adam, what do you do here? Can you tell us a little bit about the work?
I do sheet metal fabrication. I do everything from truck parts to, a lot of off-road stuff. I do industrial prototyping for some companies. If it's sheet metal, I try to be able to make it. I'm more of a smaller shop. 4 foot by 4 foot is kind of the max size on things, but I get to make all kinds of fun stuff.
I was going to say, I've seen a lot of your work across some of the off-road pages. I see we got a rock bouncer over there. We got an old square body Chevy here. Yep. You got a lot of cool projects here.
Oh yeah. Yep, there's a lot of cool stuff that comes in here.
Well, what do you say you show us some of these cool tools and some of what you do?
Pause it! Are they really going to trust your dad with them tools?
I guess so, I don't know.
That we know what happens when he drives.
Can't be as bad as his dad jokes.
Yeah, probably not. Anyways, I guess we'll see what happens.
So here's we'll do a simple little C channel. Maybe we could call it, a cover that you put in your vehicle. Maybe call it like a raceway for wires or something to hide your wires. So we've got some sheet metal over there on the plasma table. We'll draw.
So I'm noticing this program you have here. It kind of looks like a paintbrush that a lot of kids would use at their school.
Yeah, kind of similar to a point. You draw a sketch with it, and then you can dimension it. This is SolidWorks, so it is a 3D CAD program.
So CAD, what does that stand
for? Computer aided drafting is what CAD stands for. So instead of, in the old days, everybody would have a big table and you'd hand draw everything, and then you'd bring that out to the machinists, and then they'd make programs and cut things. Now we draw it all on the computer, and we can make all the bends and all the parts and flatten it and send it right to the machines, and they cut it right out, and it saves everybody a lot of time. So here's our little rectangle I drew here. So we'll take and we're going to make this out of 0.06 aluminum. So we've got our 0.06 in there. We're going to extrude it. So now it's a little piece of sheet metal there. And then we're going to add, let's add a little 1-inch bend there and a little 1-inch bend there. So now we've got that. And then let's see, do we want to do any dimples on this guy? What do you think?
What do you think, Haley?
Want to do some dimple dies?
Sure.
Sure. We will add some holes in this. So let's say do a 1-inch dimple die. We'll leave a little room there. We got a circle there.
So it gives you the dimensions right there as
Yep.
you.
And then as you put a dimension on it, you can change the position of that. So right now it says it's 1.506 from that edge. You know, let's say we want it 6 inches in. Boom, now she's 6 inches in.
Oh, that's cool.
Or we can just go, no, I don't like that. Let's go back to 2. 2 inches. Let's go 1.5 inches. And then we can draw a center line over the center of the part. And then we can mirror that circle. And now we've got another one on that end. We didn't have to draw another one. If we move this circle 3 inches in, that circle moves because it's mirrored over the center. So that's a nice little trick. And then we'll go into here and we'll take those circles and we will cut them out. So there, we've got our little part there. I think we'll do a couple little
Cool.
straight bead rolls down the middle here, and then we'll throw it in the press brake and bend it. So
Awesome. Sounds like a plan.
It's gonna be cool.
yeah, there, and that's what it'll look like flat when we cut it, and then we'll bend it on these lines.
I like it.
You could probably call that.
Wait!
What is it this time? What are you doing?
Yeah.
I'm a plasma cutter.
So I see you're using just like a ruler, like kids would have
Yep.
in their classroom.
Lots of rulers. I have a ton of rulers. I buy them in all kinds of different widths and lengths because you can really use them nice for bead rolling because you can do all your offsets and stuff.
It's just kind of cool to see such basic tools.
Oh yeah, very basic
used in,
tools. Very basic
very
tools.
detailed work.
Yep. And then we'll come down here, say we'll start the roll about 4 inches. Yeah, that was how I really got into things because my first bead roller was fairly cheap. It was like $140 little bead roller, so you can get into that pretty cheap, which is nice.
Well, I think that's what we're going to be doing on the Eagle, right, Haley?
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to have to pay attention here because you're going to be doing the bead rolling.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So what we're gonna do first is we're gonna do a just a regular bead die. These are the ones to mainly add a little bit of rigidity. This panel is just flat, so it doesn't have much stiffness to it. So
Okay, so when you say rigidity, so you can bend that really
yep,
easily.
yeah, we
right
can
now.
bend it really easy right now. It's just it's just tin. It's real thin. So we can take this and give it a little more structure and make it a little stronger as is.
So we're kind of adding like a dimension to it, like
Yeah,
depth, making it
yeah,
thicker.
we're gonna bring it up. Yep, with a little bead die. We're gonna raise these lines up right on the bead roller, and it'll give us a little bead.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So this is my bead roller. This is not the little cheapy one. This is a nice 36-inch throat roller from Mittler Brothers. It is the Jamie Jordan Signature Series. He's a very good friend of mine, kind of my mentor in all of this bead rolling stuff, so he taught me a lot. These are really nice machines. They come with an adjustable speed control, forward, reverse, and then also an adjustable pedal that works just like a TIG pedal TIG torch pedal, so the harder you push it, the faster it goes, and you can set the max speed here for when you bottom the pedal out all the way. And then in it we got our bead dies. These are just a simple 1/4 inch radius bead die. Alrighty, so here's our dies again. You can see there's an upper and a lower. There's an upper shaft and a lower shaft. They're both powered by the motor. And then this crank raises or lowers the upper shaft, and that is what puts our pressure on and causes the bead. So we're going to take this and we're going to start right here on this mark here. We're just going to eyeball it. All of this is basically by eye, so it's kind of an old school method. It's actually a lot of people.
For me. I'm not good at doing straight lines.
A lot of
things up.
you just go slow. We don't need to go fast. We're gonna go nice and slow. So we're gonna take that and we're gonna start adding a little pressure there. I feel it putting a little down, and then I'm gonna start slowly going, and then we're gonna fade that in as we go.
So you're
until
applying...
I get that. Yep, we're applying pressure.
Okay.
And now you can see on the back side that it's putting that indentation there.
You can kind of see a little from the front.
And then I'm going to do the opposite as we approach the end. We're going to take that pressure off, and that'll get us a nice little fade into it and a little fade out from there. And that gives us a little bit more rigidity in the panel. And then we will run the other one as well. We'll do the same thing. We'll start there with a little pressure, and then we'll work our way up. A lot of it becomes counting revolutions in your head so you can keep kind of the same pressure. And then we can come back if we want those to be a little deeper. You know, we can come back and roll it again. So I'd say it looks like my first one was a little deeper, so we'll go a little more, and then on your second pass you really don't have to follow much because it already made the dent, so it's going to kind of follow itself. And there we go. We've got those two lines there.
Probably not as easy to bend.
See that it gave it that little bit of an arch there in it. So it's stretching. What it's doing is stretching that metal. So you're going to get some deformation of the metal, and it's aluminum. So all we're really going to do is kind of push it by hand, and we can kind of get most of that out. We're going to throw a couple bends on the side. This is my press brake. It is a CNC press brake. So we're going to say, let's come in 3/4 from this edge, and that's where we're going to put the middle of our bend. So I'm going to type in 0.75 here, and then our back gauge are these fingers here. And we're going to place this panel in here until it touches those fingers, and then we're going to hit it down. And now we've got that bend in there. So then we've got the first one bent, and then we're going to take it again, put it up against the fingers, and if you'd like to hit the down pedal there, alrighty. And there we go. Nice bent, little channel there. Now go get some dimples on it. Alright, so we've got our part here, we've got our 2 halves of our dimple die. We are going to dimple down from this side, so we're going to take this part, put it in the hole there, take this piece, put it up on my stands here, and then we're going to turn the power on and run the ram down. We'll remove it, and see our nice little dimple there.
And now that's kind of the same as the bead rolling. We're adding depth.
Yep.
Depth
We're
and
adding
strength.
basically a flange around a circle. So these can be good for one. They're good for taking weight out of an assembly. They add a little bit of rigidity because they're adding that depth, that three-dimensional aspect to it, and they look really cool. Alrighty, so we showed you the bead dies. Next we'll show you the step dies. So the bead die brings both sides down. A step die only raises one side. So as you can see, like this sign, it's only raised on one side rather than both. And then here's another example. I call it Creepy Bear. This was a pretty in-depth one. Has a lot of time into it. I think I had 6 hours just on the bead roller making this one. And then we bent the edges and welded them and made a little sign to bring places and show what bead rolling can do.
What do you think, Haley?
It's cool.
So let's draw a heart on here, and maybe keep it, under here, wide. Keep a little gap there out to the edge.
Now a heart has 3 corners, right?
What?
Oh wait, no, that's a circle. Circle has 3 corners?
No.
Hey, you know what? I heard that if your heat goes out, you should move all your furniture to a corner of the room because it's always 90 degrees there.
No.
Sorry, carry on.
All right, perfect. All right, so now we're gonna swap out. We swap the bead die for these. These ones in particular are called stencil dies, but it basically is just a step die. You've got other ones where you can have just a step and it'll look like 2 of these, where one's flipped and one's like this. It gets you the same effect. I like these ones just because it allows me to see a little better. These ones are also only good for aluminum. You're not gonna put much beads in steel or anything real thick because these are just plastic. But we're gonna start here, and what this is gonna do by saying it's a step die, it's only gonna offset the one side. So we've got our bottom die, and I always look at it as the bottom side is what's gonna come up. So we want this heart to come up. So you want to know which side of the line to go on. So we want the heart to come up. We know the bottom is on this side. So we're going to come in here, right to this corner. We're going to get a little pressure there. We're going to put a little bit on it. And then just like before, we're going to start going. And then we're going to crank that pressure down where we like it. And then we're just going to follow the line. You gotta speed up a little when you get tighter. And see how that's just raising that one side there?
It's almost like a sewing machine.
Yeah, yep, very similar to sewing. And then we're gonna, like earlier, we're gonna take the pressure off when we got there.
Wow, pretty cool.
Alrighty, so now we're gonna do the other side. I'll take the pressure and the foot pedal, and you just gotta follow that line. So ready? Here, we'll put a little pressure down to start, and then I'll start going. And then I'll add some more of that pressure there. And then keep it, spin it a little that way there. Yep, got it. Now start going a little, yep, there you go. Start going a little, spin it a little faster. Here, I'll slow down. Yep. There you go. And if we get a little off, that's no big deal. Just spin it a little more there. There you go. Yep, you kind of got to put a little pull into it. And then we'll get to that spot there and take the pressure off. And boom, there. You got a heart.
That's cool.
Yeah. Give them a little flash there.
That's cool. So now this one, that whole heart is raised.
Yep, the whole center is raised, and that's what you'd refer to a step die set. That's only offsetting one side of the metal.
Cool.
Yeah.
So I gotta ask, what inspired you to learn all this?
Really, I got into all this based on off-roading. I always loved going up to the dunes, so I had built my Blazer and kind of had that finished up, and I wanted to do some more metal work. I had got into the tube bending and the dimple dies, and I had all that stuff, but I wanted to do more, and I was on the Pirate 4x4 back in the day, and everybody went there to talk tech and off-roading and tools and stuff.
So Pirate 4x4, is that like an internet forum?
Yep. It was an internet forum.
Gotcha.
Yep, based around off-roading.
Okay.
And so I went on there and asked some questions about what other options do I have out there for some cool metal fab tools. I had the dimple dies. What else could I do? And I found a picture of a hot rod with some bead rolling work, and I didn't know how you got that. And it was basically a step die like that, and I thought it was stamped. And I thought, how's somebody make that? That looks really cool. Mm-hmm. And somebody just said, oh, it's a bead roller. And I thought, how does that work? How does a bead roller make that happen? So I hopped on and I bought a little cheap $140 hand crank deal, and that showed up, and I basically spent every night out here after work. I was making little projects, trying it out, and then posting it online, and people saw that, wanted me to make a sign. I started making signs like this for people.
This just blows me away looking at this. And what's really hard is, I know our viewers, they really can't see the true detail that is in this sign here. A lot of the lighting, because it's metal and it's shiny, the camera, it just can't focus correctly, but there is a lot of detail within these signs, and it's truly a work of art.
Yeah, I thought it was really, really cool once I figured it out, how you can incorporate different things. It's not just for, this looks cool, it also adds a little rigidity. You can get into the signs is a huge thing. People want man cave signs. I did that for a long time, garages and stuff.
Now, I just want to take a quick minute to, you mentioned the rigidity. So if you remember when we started, this was a flat plate that we could sit there and bend. And honestly, right now,
it's strong
I
now.
can't even bend that. And it's because of that depth that it now has, that rigidity.
And the side flanges also add more of that depth. So you can, actually, a lot of people will really overbuild things. They'll slap some half-inch plate on this mount because they don't want it to break. But really, if you think about things, you can make them out of a lot lighter materials, which one saves you on your vehicle weight, which is great, and then two, it's cheaper.
Right. With just a little design.
Yeah, you add a little bit of thought or engineering or whatever you want to call it goes into it, and you can get a lot of strength out of some pretty thin stuff, and it's pretty useful.
So that's looking at this, it's just really crazy to think that this all started for you just because you were curious.
Oh yeah, yep. I am just one of those people that I can't sit still. I got to be doing something with my hands, and my one project that I spent forever building was at a point where it was just working, and I didn't need to do anything but maintenance. So I found something else to do, and then fast forward 4.5 years later, a $140 hand crank tool turned into I've got over $100,000 in tools in here now. I bought the plasma table so I could cut out the panels faster. I was cutting them all by hand before, either
When you first started.
either using, I had a little hand shear thing I bought over there to cut them out, or using a cutoff wheel. Brett, the owner here, had a hand plasma, so I started using that with a ruler, and I was getting pretty good at cutting them out.
Yep, and that's how we do it right now.
Yep. Yeah, and then people wanted weird shapes, and I was like, I had to figure out a way to be able to cut those odd shapes and not spend, you can't spend 4 days making a $200 sign.
Right.
You're never going to make out on your time into it. So you get the tools and you become more faster. And
So you've only been doing this for, you said, like 4 years?
yep.
Which that just blows my mind. The detail you have in this sign here. Again, a lot of you cannot see the very fine details in the teeth and the claws, and looks like there's even some stitches in there. Looking at this, I would think you would have to go to college and spend years in college learning this, and to find out that you just did this in your free time, just out in the shop in the evenings.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I missed a lot of those, those weekend parties with buddies. Hey, come out do this, or nope, I was standing down here working on something. But now it's turned into something. And last April, I actually quit my engineering job.
Wow.
So this is now supporting me full time, and April 2019. So it's been over a year that I've been on my own, and I'm still afloat, and I've. The first 2 weeks were absolutely the most terrifying 2 weeks of my life. But, I got busy, and ever since, my email's been full, my message boxes are, they're full. At the moment, I'm having a hard time keeping up with orders. So,
Well, that's a good problem to have.
no, it's great. Very fortunate.
Well, I'm going to say thank you for your time here. I know someone here's probably getting a little hungry.
I'm tired.
It's been a long day. We had a fun journey up here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So we're kind of up in. We're gonna bust out the hand here. We're kind of kind of in this area of Michigan. And Haley and I, we're from down in this area. We got lost on our way up here. But well, hey, thank you for your time, and
no problem.
wish the best to you.
Yeah.
Nice. Oh, hey everybody. I hope you learned a lot, because we will be using a lot of that knowledge right here on this Jeep in that Eagle.
We would also like to give a big thank you to Mr. Adam Deuling from Deuling Design.
Absolutely. But if you guys don't mind, we still got a lot of work to do.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See y'all next time. Bye, guys.
Bye.